What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is your friend the Goose, and the goose is loose, baby. Ha! And I am here today for my WandaVision episode 8 predictions. We've got 2 episodes left. This is the first episode I'm predicting because I'm not going to lie, I'm sad that there's only 2 episodes left. The views and the interactions on my WandaVision stuff has been my best videos yet. I've enjoyed making them so much and staying up late to watch the show. I've really enjoyed that. So I decided for the last 2 weeks I'll get an extra WandaVision video in there. Hell, maybe next week I'll get 3. I'll be so excited. Who knows? But so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna give you some. Basically, I wrote down my key points that I think the episode will be. So it's kind of like when I do my predictions for the wrestling, I predict matches. I'm predicting story beats here. This is a combination of what has happened and my theories based on what has happened. I've gotten a lot of stuff right to this point. The only thing I've had spoiled for me all throughout this was Quicksilver, but it wasn't spoiled that it was Evan Peters. I figured it was because most people knew Evan Peters was in this show, but I haven't had anything else spoiled for me. I saw one leak that ended up being debunked already based on something. So I am fresh to all of this. I don't know what's coming, and I'm excited because I usually look up that kind of thing like leaks. And for this, I'm going to genuinely get it fresh and enjoy it. And I'm really excited for that. So let's get into the predictions. So I think this episode, basically in storytelling, in TV shows a lot of time, the format is you do a big reveal and then you do a backstory fill in the blanks episode, kind of a late season exposition dump. So I think we are gonna open with the Salem witch trials and Agatha's backstory. I think when she said her and Ralph's anniversary was June 2nd, that was when the Salem witch trials began in the 1600s, 1602, I believe. Um, and I think we get flashbacks to that. And potentially we see some other witches there that we recognize. Um, I'll talk about that more later, though. And I think we get caught all the way up to the present. Like, I think we're going to find out potentially why Agatha has lasted since the trials. Like, maybe we saw a cicada in the last episode. The cicada, doesn't it stay in a cocoon for like 17 years and then burst out? Like, maybe that's what Agatha did, but at a much larger scale. Um, why would she have done this? Maybe just to avoid being killed. Maybe she bargained with somebody to spare her life. We'll get into that. And where would this be? Where would she have hidden to be dormant until now? Or was she? I don't know. Maybe this doesn't go back to Salem. Maybe it's a modern story, but I think if that book is The Dark Hold, which I didn't write anything about the Dark Hold here. I'm assuming the entire expedition dump in Salem includes the Dark Hold, Agatha, potentially other people we've already seen in Westview, like maybe Dottie is part of her coven. But ultimately, I think that's what the opening is. Then I think we're going to cut to the post-credit scene where Monica and Pietro interact. And I think we're going to come to find out that he's Peter. I think Monica will probably call him Pietro. Although, has she been there since then? She knows about Pietro. I think she'll call him Pietro, and he'll be like, "It's Peter. Why is everybody calling me that?" Kind of a thing. And I think through this interaction, we're going to get the closest thing we've gotten to confirmation that he's Quicksilver from Fox will be that exchange. I think he'll be like, "My name's Peter." I was talking to a couple of friends. Maybe he mentions a wheelchair, or he mentions certain mutants, and he mentions how out of nowhere now he's here, and he's just trying to help because in that other world he's a hero as well. So I mean, he's about that life. And I think Quicksilver and Monica could potentially team up. Now, I know what you're saying, but her eyes were purple at the end. I don't know what her powers are. First off, we don't even know what her name is. Um, is Monica going to be Spectrum or Photon? I want to know that. Because I think she's gone by both. I feel like the show set up Photon by showing us that Maria Rambeau placard in the Sword headquarters with Photon on it. But I don't know what her powers are at all. Like, clearly it has something to do with, like, electromagnetic fields or fields of energy. So is she under the control and that's why her eyes are purple? Or does her body feed off of the energies of the earth around her? Like, if that's a prevalent energy near her, can she manipulate it? I really don't know. Just throwing something out there that crossed my mind. And then I said it's possible that they start waking people up together. And then, like I said, you find out Dottie potentially over there, Bev maybe. I don't know who it is, but because in the comics in House of M, Wolverine was the character like waking people up and reminding them of the truth of the real reality that existed. So I think maybe these two start to do that. Um, I don't think we'll get a larger villain reveal here, but I think it'll be teased. Um, I still think whoever the big bad is Ralph. I could see Agatha saying something along the lines of like they were gonna hang me, they were gonna kill me and torture me in public, and Ralph saved me. Don't be surprised if that's the kind of verbiage they use, a savior, because what does that usually mean? The other thing. Um, and everybody wants Mephisto. I still think we're gonna get a hodgepodge of Mephisto and Nightmare combined because I don't know how heavy they want to go into the devil stuff. Like, bottom line, I don't know how. I don't know if they'll want like red skin and horns and deep gravelly voice. Like, maybe they just make Nightmare the leader of the Hell Dimension. I don't know what it is, but I think it'll be named Nightmare, but it might absorb a lot of what Mephisto was. I the stuff about the censorship with the Chinese censorship board, which is essentially, I believe, their government, the people in place just not allowing certain things to be shown. Um, and there are other examples of things being changed from the MCU for China. Like in Iron Man 3, I'm pretty sure there's a whole scene where like they added in Chinese doctor saving Iron Man's life. Like they very much control the content that goes out, and if they don't want that kind of stuff, they're not going to have it out, and that cuts out a massive part of the market for Marvel. But I think we'll get something along the lines of like Ralph saved me, or maybe they just blatantly refer to somebody as Nightmare. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I don't think anything gets confirmed here. I think this episode is probably going to be Agatha's to mainly be pulling the strings. Um, then I think Vision, whenever he finally returns home with Darcy. So I was trying to figure out how Darcy fits into all of this, and I think she's basically the on resident expert about the laws of the Hex. Like, I think she'll be the person there who will be like, you can't just leave it. This, and this. Like, she'll be the information person. Um, I'm assuming it's Agatha who is making all of the obstructions for Vision and Darcy to return home. And Vision clearly thinks this is Wanda. And he's getting agitated. The last time we saw him, he was mad. So I think when he returns home, we could potentially see Agatha manipulate Wanda into attacking Vision, and we get a Wanda versus Vision. I think that's possible. I think we could get Wanda versus Vision under Agatha's control, and then there's going to be a moment of like Vision finding out who the true villain is. I assume Monica and Quicksilver then come into play. So it's Vision, Darcy, Monica, Quicksilver, Agatha, and maybe like Dottie and her son. Maybe Herb is Nicholas Scratch. I don't know. I actually like that a lot. Herb as Nicholas Scratch is interesting. They're different races, but rationalizations can be made, I assume. I don't know. I just like that actor that played Herb a lot. I don't know. Sorry, my phone's going off. But I think it'll be like a lineup of Quicksilver, Monica, Darcy. Maybe Darcy won't be in the lineup because she's not exactly powered. But Monica, Quicksilver, and Vision will probably be fighting an Agatha-controlled Wanda. Um, then what's going on with Hayward? I think essentially he's moving in on Vision. I think either he's going to attempt to. God damn it! I am so sorry, guys. My fantasy football group on Slack is popping off. Let me turn off my notifications. Whatever Hayward's doing, I think we find out this episode at the end, maybe. I think he's either gonna nuke it. When he says we launch, maybe he's sending in another team, but it's like a deadly force team. It's gonna be something awful, for sure. And I think potentially maybe whatever awful deed it is, like if he is gonna drop a nuke on the Hex, I could see Vision being the one to sacrifice himself. What else do I have here? So we'll find out something about Hayward really bad. Um, I'm assuming Darcy will be the one to intercept that info, maybe through like email, because she won't have her phone with her, but maybe she'll access the computer somehow. Darcy will be the one to find out what Hayward is doing, and I assume Vision will be the one to ultimately have to stop it, because I do think we have to get a Vision and Hayward moment, because I think also there's a chance Vision. All right, so I don't have too much for this, but I think there's a chance Vision is already Ultron, and they uploaded the schematic of Ultron because Vision says, I believe, like his old schematic was named Jarvis. So what's his new one? Ultron. I think basically Vision or Hayward was trying to upload Ultron or bring Vision back without the personality. I can't tell which one it was. If he was just going to be a sentient weapon with no personality or Ultron. But whatever it is, I think those two are directly tied together, clearly. Something has to happen with those two. Then I think the conclusion of the episode is massive. I think this is where everything starts to pop during that 5-way battle, where I think Agatha and Wanda will be fighting the team of Vision, Quicksilver, and Monica. I think is going to be nuts. And then I think there's going to be a moment where maybe Vision or somebody says, "Where are my children?" And everything stops, and Wanda, like, it catches. I feel like through all of this, Wanda's eyes are going to be, like, purpled over or red over. And then that's going to, like, stop Wanda. Like, yeah, where are my kids? And then you're going to find out what their fate was. I don't know exactly what the kids' fate was. The business side of me thinks they have to make it out of this because the Young Avengers are coming. And Wiccan and Speed are Young Avengers. Wiccan being an LGBT plus character. But in the comics, they're like fractions of Mephisto's soul brought to life, and then he reabsorbs them. Maybe Agatha is the one who did that. They're parts of Agatha. Maybe Billy said he couldn't hear her because he's a part of her. I don't know, maybe. So I think Wanda's going to find out either her kids are dead or they're temporarily gone, but Wanda thinks they're dead. And I think Wanda fucking erupts. And I think she nearly kills Agatha immediately before Vision and everybody, like, they've been fighting Wanda to this point, but it's still Wanda and they're trying to save her. I think they're going to be fighting for their life at this point. Like, I think Wanda might kill somebody. Wanda might kill the residents of Westview. Wanda might kill Hayward. Wanda might kill, I don't know who, but Wanda might kill, period. Because I think she finds out they're gone, she erupts, and she starts losing it. And she starts destroying Westview blindly. I think it could look like the end of X3, honestly, with Jean Grey and Magneto and Professor X, where like there's just earth coming out of the ground and she's bursting houses, and I think she's going to be expanding rapidly. Like it's just going to erupt into her full uncontainable, unimaginable power erupting. This is the inciting incident of everything to come. And essentially, I think going into episode 9, the things that are going to be happening are a nuke is going to be coming from Hayward. Wanda's going to be on the verge of basically the nuke is kind of fair because if they don't nuke Westview, the whole world could be taken by Wanda. Wanda is destroying everything inside, so they're fighting an outside force and an inside force. And I think, I don't know if it's the post-credit scene or if it's the final moment of the episode, but essentially Wanda is destroying everything. They're trying to figure out what to do. Portal opens. Behind them, you hear it. You don't even see it. You hear it. And then you hear Benedict Cumberbatch, Peter Maximoff, and everybody's like, what? And they turn around, and it's Doctor Strange. Who comes out next to him? You hear his voice before you see him. He says, you've got some explaining to do. Patrick Stewart wheels into frame. That's the, I think he's the cameo. I don't think you can call Cumberbatch a Luke Skywalker-like cameo in the canon of the MCU. He's not there yet. The only people I could consider that level of cameo are genuinely Charles Xavier, Magneto, Iron Man, Cap. I really think those might be the only 4 existing characters in the universe or all of the verses that warrant that kind of title. I mean, maybe Toby, but what the hell does he have going on? I think that's my prediction. Benedict Cumberbatch and Patrick Stewart come out of a tunnel together. And I think this is going to directly go into the multiverse of madness. So now Doctor Strange will have to stop a nuke. He will have to help them contain Wanda. And we have Professor X involved now. That's my episode 8 predictions for WandaVision. Let me know what you think, guys. Am I going too far? Am I going too crazy? What do you think of my beats and my moments? Do they make sense? Where do you differ in opinion? Let me know. This is a discussion, and I want to interact with you guys. I could talk into this microphone all damn day, but if nobody's responding, I'm kind of talking into the void here. So please, give me a comment. More so than a like. If you don't want to like the video, fine. Give me a comment. Talk it out. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you're thinking about this series. And tell me how fucking excited you are. We got 2 episodes left of WandaVision, and I couldn't be more hype. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. The Goose is out.